Well, a big welcome to everybody to our webinar this afternoon. Everyone can create video from us, the Greenwich Apple Regional Training Centres. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Is a little plan of what we're going to be doing. We've got a little bit of sharing reflection from the previous session where we set a little task for those who are with us. Then we're looking at video and then some next steps. So let's start off with some welcome and introduction. So my name is Tim Lings and I'm Director of Digital Learning at Heronsgate Primary School here, and I'm joined by...
Hi there, my name's Ralph Corish, Year 5 teacher at Heronsgate and Apple teacher, and working with Tim on all things computing here at Heronsgate.
Hello, I'm Andrew Barnshaw, Year 2 teacher at Heronsgate Primary School, also an Apple teacher and part of the computing team here at Heronsgate.
Brilliant, wonderful. So it's great to be joined by my fantastic team here. So we are the Greenwich Apple Regional Training Centre. You can look at us on Twitter if you would like to, here based at Heronsgate Primary School. And the purpose of Apple Regional Training Centres is to deliver courses to build the skills and confidence of educators using Apple technology inside and outside the classroom. We are a community who share best practice and inspire excellence through teaching with Apple technology. So before we go on, we've just got a little opportunity to share what was done in the last session. So we've set up a little Showbie group. I don't know if you've come across Showbie or used Showbie before or use it in your class or your school. It is a kind of learning platform. If you would like to, you can sign up for a free account. If you visit my.showbie.com or open the Showbie app, you can set up an account and then you can join a Showbie group. So I'm just going to pop this in the chat here. 1 second. So if you literally visit groups.showbie.com/HHBHU in the chat, look at that. You can't click on it. That's annoying. Let's try that again. Maybe this time you can. A few hyperlinks in there. Here we go. Yeah. So if you click on that, that would make you join our little Showbie group, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is me in my Showbie app. And I've got a little Showbie group, and here we've got a record of some of the fun activities that we did in previous sessions. So we've already looked at photography and drawing. So you've got some fun photo activities and some drawing activities we've done. And then one of the homework from last time was to explore motion graphics. So this is where I've had a go at using Keynote to put together a little animation. So this is what I came up with. All those objects moving as they go along, and then there's a little padlock, and they're going to enter in all the different STEM subjects: science, technology, engineering, and maths. And this will unlock the STEM week escape room. So this is a little bit of fun that we're having at our school next week, and I was just making a little animation to show how you can do that all in the Keynote. So that was done all in Keynote, just using Magic Move and things like that. Everything you need to know about that is on the Everyone Can Create book about drawing, but today we are looking at video. So the link is there if you would like to join that group, and you can post in any video work that you've done if you want to share it with the rest of us. But today, Everyone Can Create. Now let's just give a bit of a recap on what Everyone Can Create is. It is a set of curriculum resources that Apple have produced. So they don't match up with a particular subject, but rather are there to teach the skills that are needed in drawing, photography, music, and video. So there's great apps on the iPad, but sometimes you don't just need the app, you need to know how to use it. So there were a range of different activities and tutorials in there that you can do. But what's really great is there is an accompanying teacher guide and teacher guide for early learners, which have lots of suggested ways that you can integrate that into the subject. So it's tailored for the earliest curriculum, for the early learners one, and then just normal national curriculum, English, maths, science, the arts, etc. So there's looking at photos. There's an activity, we've done that one. Drawing, again, I've done a bit of drawing of that as well. And today we're looking at video, and then there's music as well. So lots of different disciplines that are looked at. And then there's a teacher guide, which includes the activities, but then include ways that you can integrate that, for example, here into science or coding. Right across a range of the different ideas that are there. Then there's this early learner guide, which has got lots of suggested activities. And then there are also integration ideas of how they can join up with different subjects. So these are really great resources that you can have a go at, you can look at and use. I will post shortly a link to the book if you haven't already got the book. He says, so the creative process is an important part of learning, and using these kind of resources also helps with engagement of our students, and it helps with the integration of the arts into the classroom as well. Now, if you received an email as when you signed up with Eventbrite, it did have a link to download a creativity workshop workbook that you can have a go to use to follow along, to fill in. So that is if you would like to do that. So we're going to start off with video. So for this session, you're going to be using the Clips app. We're going to be demoing some of these resources, and then you have a chance to have a go with them yourself as well. So video is an excellent way to help students create their own stories and share their understanding. So we're going to have a look at the very first activity within the Everyone Can Create video book. So I'll share that shortly into the chat, but here we go. This is in the Apple Books app. So we've got all of these books here, so that everyone can create. In fact, I might just share this right now. Here we go. So I'm going to tap on this little 3 dots. I'm going to share the book. I'm going to copy that. Let's just pop that into Showbie, and then I can pop it into Zoom. Oh no, that's the wrong place. Here we go. There we go. So that's a link to that book. Brilliant. So here we are in the book, and we're going to have a little look at the first activity in video. He says, as it downloads, this is good. I'm feeling very prepared today. So whilst that is happening, I wonder if I could. Yeah, sorry, it's going to just spin around.
We were only talking yesterday about us needing to speed up our internet speed at the school, Tim.
Yeah, I think it's called being slightly more prepared as well. Right, here we go. Let me post this in here into the chat. There we go. There's the Everyone Can Create book if you would like to have a go at downloading it at the same time as me.
That's what comes with a SIP visit on the same day as an RTC conference.
Yeah, here we go. Right, as you can see, the circle of doom going around. There we go. Nearly there. Sorry, everyone. Obviously, perhaps I'll edit this out for the YouTube video, but maybe not. We'll see. Okay, so everyone can create video. There we go. It's downloaded. He says, and boom, we can. Oh, hello. No, I seem to have thrown it off the chain.
You just so went backwards.
Patience. That's not what you need.
I think you tried to tempt it too soon. Go on,
Everyone can create video. There it is. See the anticipation. So
can everyone download though? That's the question.
So just a little introduction about all these things. Then video, and welcome to video, your best day ever. So it's basically going through all the different resources that you might go through. And the first thing is your first movie. So this is suggesting using the Clips app. And what's great about the Clips app is that it's a really simple way to combine video together to create a project. And one thing you have to learn about is that you press and hold this big red record button to record. So you're going to have Andrew in a sec going to demo this, recording and editing. So just recording a little video of himself. You might to retake it. And then you can add in other photos and videos from your photo library. You can trim and rearrange the clips to make the right order. You can then rename your project and share it. So that's just a very basic introduction to how that works. So I'm now going to hand over to Andrew, who was going to run that through with us. So over to you if you want to share your screen.
Yeah, let me just get shared screen here. That's the wrong. Oh, there we go. Can you see my iPad screen?
Yeah, all good.
Super. Okay, so yeah, as Tim said, I'm going to be showing you the Clips app, and I must say I've really taken to this app. I think it's great, and the children really love using it as well. So let's get it opened, and I'm going to make a really cheesy all about me video, and everyone loves the sound of their own voice, so I just can't wait to watch this stuff back. So when you open the app, you'll be greeted by your face in selfie mode. If you click on the little box at the top left there and then new project, it will be a new project, just in case you had an old project open. So as I said, I'm going to make a really cheesy video all about me. So I'm going to hold the record button just to introduce myself and say maybe 2 things I'm interested in doing. So here we go. Hello, my name's Andrew, and 2 of the things I'm really interested in doing is tennis and reading books. So I've now released the record button, and that's my little intro video down there, and that's on the timeline at the bottom, and you can click into that and do lots of different things, but for now I'm just going to leave it there. I think I'm happy with this, but I'm just going to watch it back anyway. Hello, my name's Andrew, and 2 of the things I'm really interested in doing is tennis and reading books. So actually, no, I think I want to say 2 of the hobbies I'm interested in doing. So I'm going to delete that and have another go. Hello, my name's Andrew, and 2 of my favourite hobbies are tennis and reading books. There we go. So that's a bit better. I'm a bit happier with that now. So now I think I want to put in some images or video of those things. Now, I don't have any videos of me playing tennis or reading books, but I do have a couple of images here. So if I click on the button just under the star and go to photos, I can add in one of the pictures I took earlier. Now, I'm going to start by clicking on the tennis ball. I think I want to talk about tennis first. So I've selected that and I'm going to press add. Now, this is asking me to add to the project. If I do that, it will just add the image on its own. I actually wanted to speak over the image. So I'm going to say preview and record. So now I'm greeted with the image I just added in, and I want to talk a little bit about playing tennis and why I enjoy tennis. So to do that, just like before, I need to hold the record button for the duration of me speaking. One of the reasons I love tennis is because it was the first sport I played as a young child, and I really enjoyed beating my brother. So I've just released the record button to add some voice over the top of that. And let's just play to see how that sounds. One of the reasons I love tennis is because it was the first sport I played as a young child, and I really enjoyed beating my brother. Now, I'm pretty happy with that, but maybe I don't want to include the part about beating my brother. So I can trim that out by clicking on the trim button here in the middle. And now that's opened up the clip, and it's 7.3 seconds long. And if I click on this arrow, I can just drag it back a bit just to edit that video. Let's see what that's done. Now I'll click trim on the bottom right. Now let's play that. One of the reasons I love tennis is because it was the first sport I played as a young child, and I really enjoyed. Well, that was close. Was never going to get it bang on, but that was a good effort. Let's just take it back a little bit more, and I'll press trim there. So that's how you can trim video clips to make them shorter. So it's quite often a good idea to maybe record slightly longer than you first thought, because then you can always trim it back. It's difficult. Although if you wanted to add more, you could just press done and then record another video, or you can add another image. I want to speak about reading now, so I'm going to go to photos and grab the picture of the book there. And again, clicking on the image, pressing add and preview and record, because I would like to talk over the top of the image. Okay. This is a picture of one of my favorite books, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I have fond memories of my father reading this story to me. So again, that's just talking over the top of that clip. Let's play. Let's see if I'm happy with that. This is a picture of one of my favorite books, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I have fond memories of my father reading this story to me. Now, of course, I'm going through this quite quickly, so I'm stumbling over my words a little bit. I probably would delete that clip and redo it, but as I said before, everyone loves the sound of their own voice, but not too much. I don't want to keep listening. Now, you can rearrange the order of clips in the timeline. So perhaps I think reading is more interesting than playing tennis. So I can click and hold this clip, and I can rearrange the order. So let's have a go. Let's watch it from the very beginning, see if it makes sense. Hello, my name's Andrew, and 2 of my favorite hobbies are tennis and reading books. This is a picture of one of my favorite books, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I have fond memories of my father reading this story to me. One of the reasons I love tennis is because it was the first sport I played as a young child, and Well, yeah, not great, but as I say, I've really rushed through this, so I would probably redo some of those clips there. I'm going to press done here, and I think I'm going to rename my project. So let's press done here. And I'm going to press the squares at the top again. And I'm going to press, I feel like I'm just as prepared as you are now, Tim. Let me just go here. Why can I not find this button?
Try press and hold on it.
Press and hold.
And then you can...
Hello, my name's
super.
Andrew, and two of my...
So rename. There we go. And I'm going to call this All About Me. And save that there. There we go. And I can press done there. And then you can always share with the bottom, the square with the little arrow here. And then you could share it to Showbie, which, why don't I do that now? I'll share it to our group. There we go. And don't like that name. Let's go all about, excuse me, all about me. There we go. Cool. Now, there are lots of different effects and other things you could do on these video clips, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go into that just now. Would that be right, Tim?
Yeah, that's super. Right. I think want to just unshare your screen.
Cool.
And then back to me. So
Yeah.
that's a very kind of basic introduction to clips. And so now we'd like to give you 3 minutes to have a little try at doing that yourself. So if you have an iPad on you, if you're using the iPad to join this Zoom meeting, we're not going to do any talking for the next 3 minutes. So you literally just press the home button or swipe up and then just have a try with the Clips app to see how you do. So you've got 3 minutes, just have a little play, and then we'll bring you back after the 3 minutes. Great, so your 3 minutes is up. Hopefully you've had a chance to have a little play on Clips and record a little bit of yourself, just seeing how that works. I'm now going to hand over to you, Mr. Corridge, to go through the next section in the book. Why don't I quickly just show you what that looks like in the book before Mr. Corridge kind of talks you through it. So we've had a look at recording and editing, and then now the idea of building a montage is that you can put together a sequence of different images to accompany your video to kind of add a bit more depth, but some of the extra effects you can use in that, and the fact you can add music along, which is good. And then we could even have a look at adding some cool effects, but I'll leave that in your court, Mr. Corridge. Just throw that little curveball.
Just throw activity 3 under the bus for me. Why not?
But anyway, over to you.
Yeah, no worries.
Share your screen.
Let's share this screen and we will have a quick look. So hopefully we are, can we see activity 2 there, Mr. Lings? Brilliant, fantastic. So as Tim was just saying, we're looking a little look. I've done a sort of made a little start on one, and we'll talk about how I did some of the things, and I'll add a couple more bits to the sort of building a montage. We've all seen films where you've got montage effects, but it's mostly through photographs that we've done this montage, and I've done a little sort of starter video, which is about isn't that creative, but just talking in this case, we've been doing the ancient Mayans today, so I used the ancient Mayans as an inspiration just for a little preview. I was thinking something which you could get your year 5s to create, my class to sort of create at the start of maybe doing some kind of research video based on what they've learned about them. It could be a sort of opening montage, which is kind of where I was going with what I've done. What we're going to do is we're going to quickly pop into Clips, and as you can see, what I've got here is the clip that Andrew just had of my face with the camera facing me, but you can also see down the bottom there that I have got the video. Bear with me, I wasn't half expecting to see me straight away. So There we go. There we go. Nice and set up now. And we've got the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play what I've done so far, and then we'll see how I went into doing that, and we'll add a few more images onto my video. So it's just 20 seconds long. Let's go find out where the Mayan temples were. Okay, so that was just a quick 20-second video with an introductory 5-second video from me, and then 4 images that were sort of slowly panning in to finding where the Mayan, one of these Mayan temples is. So the way I did that was obviously with the first one, I just recorded a video of me, as Mr. Barnshaw just did, as Andrew just did just now. But then on the next one, here and all the others, I was adding photos, but then I was slowly zooming in on each one. So let me show you how I did that. So if I press done, and here we've got the main video, and what I'm going to do is, like Andrew just did, I'm going to add a new photo, and the same as what he just did, I'm going to go with this temple here and zoom over this one a little bit. So we add, but I don't want to just simply add the photo, or else I won't be able to do any of the effects that I need to do. So if I preview and record, and then it comes up here. Now, just as before, I've got the big red button to press the record, and I can also, if I wanted to, I can add any of the effects and emojis. You saw me do the sort of all good emoji like I've done. I've finished my video on the last one, and I can do that by adding it here. Maybe we can do the isn't this wonderful emoji for this one here. The kids just quite like to add them in just to sort of add a bit of an effect. But you've got stickers, you can find things that would work for them. You can also add some text. So if we just add here, look, but you can always edit the text, and helps if you don't have 3 different Apple products in front of you and you type on the wrong keyboard. So if we just have wow for now, and then I can move it around, I can make it bigger, make it smaller, I can slant it. So therefore, I am now ready to go on holding it down. No, I don't need to worry about making sounds or any noises or anything, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute after I've recorded it, so that we are only going to hear the music. Now, what you noticed was that music ended perfectly in time for the end of the video. And Clips is perfect for that, because Clips will basically work out the length of your video and it will stop its music at exactly the right time. I'll have a little show you where to find the music in a second, and just think about which one works for your video. But I'm just going to quickly record something now. And as I do it with my fingers, I'm going to move around and zoom in and out to show you how we can move around the screen. So what I'm going to do, and before I start, I'm going to start in this corner down here, and I'm going to slowly move around. So there you go. And straight away, as has happened with Andrew earlier on, that's now just been added to the end of my clip. So if I just go back 2 photos and press play and just do a little preview. You can hear now that the noise of the music's quieted down because I haven't muted my video. So if I go back onto that now, and I simply press mute, and now go again, music comes back to full volume again, and it's timed perfectly so that it ends just in time for the video to end, and it takes me through to there. Now, the music I chose, I went up here, and you can see there is the music there, and I went on to soundtracks. You could put your own music in, which is fine, and you've got all these different options to pick. I thought that seemed like the perfect one for me, but you can pick different ones. If it was more of a action-packed video, then we can go with something actiony. It didn't seem particularly action-packed to me, but you can pick any of them. It downloads them, and then you can go back and select the one you want. But for me, that was perfect for me because it had a nice picture of a beach on it. But as you can hear, the music doesn't really start. You
Let's
hear
go
it in the
find out
background,
where the
doesn't
Mayan
come into full
temples were.
volume Till the music video kicks in. So we've got our montage there of perhaps what a year 5 child may produce if you ask them to do an introductory montage for their study into Mayan temples, and then they may do a video more of themselves describing what the Mayan temples were and the pyramids and all of that. And if I press done, it takes me back to there. And you saw that I added those stickers. I could equally do it afterwards. You can add the effect in after the event. So if you recorded it and thought, you know what, actually, I'd like to add some extra text there, maybe some information about the temple that you could see perhaps for that video. This is the Mayan temple of Yucatan. Then you could perhaps put that in after the event. You can always duplicate, as you can see here. If you wanted that video twice, you can duplicate it. And again, like Andrew did, you can trim it. So therefore, by creating all these separate videos and by being able to zoom and pan, you can create a montage of what you are trying to create. And in exactly the same way, like Andrew was doing, if I wanted to, I can share it to Showbie accordingly. So, Mr. Links, I believe that covers recording a montage and getting to grips with the slightly more advanced stages of clips, but it's still very basic, and it's one of the best things about clips and why it's such a good primary school resource particularly, but secondary school would be just as great. The kids pick it up really quickly. It's such a simple thing to make look really good really quickly, and you can't really go too wrong with it.
Awesome. So I think if we just if I share my screen now, we're going to give you another 3 minutes to have a little play on your iPad to see if, let me get ready with my 3 minutes. Okay, so you've got 3 minutes to have a little play, and then we'll go from there. Off we go. Okay, fantastic. So before we move on, I just wanted to show a few little extra bits. So if we keep looking through the book, the next activity they suggest is to add a storyline. So here you would think of like, what is my story here? How is it going to flow the way through? What are your characters? What's the setting, etc. It then suggests you make a shot list. Always good when you're filming. What are the shots we need? Because you might shoot things in a different order, then rearrange them. Suggesting you can use filters. That's in the same place that you add the emoji. There's that little filter button, and different text effects. You can add live titles. So that's a way that as you speak, the words actually appear on the screen, which is pretty cool. But one thing I wanted to show you is how you can add posters. So these are full screen graphics that are a great way to kind of begin or end a video, or perhaps in the middle. So let me just show you that. So you open up clips, and then you have the same button that you had for photos you can use to add posters. Yep, sure, you can know where I am. So you've got lots of simple posters to begin with. So just colors with a bit of something on the background. Then they get a bit more complicated, and then they get increasingly kind of elaborate one about. So these are, because they're more elaborate, they might not really match very easily, but it's all good fun. So let's have a look. For example, you might think that this is perfect for the Mayans.
There is definitely a poster that will match for what you're trying to do somewhere. There are enough posters that you will find something that will match for what you're trying to do.
So you can just literally double tap on the text. So then you can just alter the text. I mean, I can't type, but that's another issue. And then to add it in, you just press and hold to record it. Another little top tip is if you press and hold and then swipe to the left, it keeps going like that. And then you just keep going. I don't need to hold it down. Oh, look, my finger's not doing anything. And there's that little animation there. There we go. Stop. Great. And now it's saying, you know, add some effects. But that's just, there's loads of posters in there, and they're a really great way to kind of begin and end a video as you put it all together. Super. But back to my slides. Why all this matters, why bother using video in the classroom? So learning the skills of recording and editing video clips gives students the foundation for visual communication. So they're learning how to communicate visually. We teach children how to write, which is important, but so much stuff happens a lot of the time, YouTube, etc. But these are important skills that you need to be able to how to tell a story using a combination of video, and that actually helps you kind of unpick what's going on when you're watching a film or TV or whatever. You realize, wow, someone's actually put it together and they've put it in a particular order for a reason. So it helps our students become more awake in how they consume media. And using the graphic features in clips teaches students how to expressively emphasize content and visual elements. So it's a great way to for students to express which part of the image they were particularly interested. The fact that you can zoom in, as you were showing with the Mayans, onto a certain part of the image, or zooming in on that map, or that you can add like arrows or different elements to show this is the part of the graphic that you want the viewer to be focused on. So if you are interested in exploring this further before we come back next time, chapter 4 from the Everyone Can Create video guide is a great one to look at, as that looks at making tutorial videos. So I'm just going to have a little look at that now. So I open up my book. I'm just going to pinch, it takes us to here. So that's chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, tutorials. So this is basically how to make an epic YouTube, TikTok video tutorial. So this guy here, he's making a little video about how to make his grandmother's, what is he's making, it tells me, oh, there we go. Or we could watch it, but he's doing some cooking. So it goes through suggestions on how to use a teleprompter. So you can either just use a bit of paper, or you can even use an iPad. So if you write it in Pages, there's actually a teleprompter button within Pages. If you tap on the 3 dots and tap presenter mode, it will then, the text will kind of slide up the screen. It's pretty cool. So you can talk to camera and look super professional. Suggestions about how to set up the camera, how to record a take, how to record some different angles, like over the shoulder shots or point of view shots, and how to then put that project together in clips, including the perfectly wonderful background there in the kitchen. Look at that. And suggestions of how to kind of edit that all together, how to crop it right. It just goes on and on, but these are all ways that you can really make an excellent explanation video. Is this one? Here we go.
Hi, my name is Mateo. I'm going to show you how my grandma makes the best ever
corn tortillas.
Corn tortillas, and then it stopped working. But there we go. That's basically the gist of it. So you can have a go, either just yourself or with your children in a classroom. Can you put together a little explanation video? So that's your little challenge before next session, if you'd like to do that. So I'm just going to go through a few integration ideas. So we can have a look at page 86 of the integration guides. And here it's got some suggestions for maths, literacy, and history and social studies. So there's a nice one here. I solved it. So create a clips video explaining the solution to a challenging maths problem. So add music filters, text, and stickers for impact. So again, you just use that same process, but in maths. So you'd have perhaps a talking head explaining the problem, and then you could take photos or screenshots of steps of the problem, and then you can use those different stickers to highlight which is the elements that you solved. And it's learning how to tell that story and explain your reasoning, but using clips. And if they're confident with clips, that's definitely something you could do. Or in literacy, establishing shots, so explore settings in a short story using video. So start with an on-camera introduction by someone portraying a character in the story, create a montage of the setting where the character grew up, record shots from different perspectives to add variety to the montage. So again, just like that montage activity, but again with a literacy focus. So you just put together those parts to do with the text you're looking at. And it goes on. So there's a bit of science. So a collision lab video, that sounds exciting. Provide a demonstration of the conservation of momentum principle using clips, capture the hypothesis in several trials with various conditions. Show the principle in a real world setting, adding text, stickers, and live titles. So all of these are ways that you can just use clips to help students explain what they've learned and explain that to someone else. Because, you know, isn't there that saying that, you know, if I tell you, you'll remember a small amount, but if you do it, you'll remember more. But if you have to explain it to someone else, you're going to remember a lot more. So the video making activity is that process of getting students to explain what you've done and how you got there, and how you put it in a way that makes a lot of sense. It kind of embeds that learning for them. Then we have the teacher guide for early learners. So I'm just going to open that now on page 120. So this is one of these extra books, and this one is aimed for early learners. And again, I hadn't downloaded. I think my defense is that I gave my normal training iPad to one of my team and I hadn't set this one up. But it really is worth the wait for us to download. It's not a very big download, this book.
I think the going back to clips and the video, the thing is, it's such a leveler for the children in terms of being able to present learning that they are happy with, and that some children who just can't write their learning in the book, but it doesn't mean they don't have the science knowledge and learning that they have discovered over the course of that lesson, and they can present it far more easily by recording things and by presenting a video, and they can easily show that learning that they know using a video in a way that is presentable and knowledgeable, in a way that they wouldn't be able to necessarily write it down. So it gives them an opportunity to show that and to show off what they do, what they have learned.
Yes, agreed. So in this early learners book, it breaks down the activities quite nicely. So this just goes through all different skills. You've got drawing, photo, video. So with video, it's got 4 different kind of suggested ways you could use it. So one of them is introduce yourself. Again, similar to what we've been doing, but taking that in an early years kind of setting. And you wouldn't necessarily use clips, you'd literally just use the camera. Or the idea of using slow motion. So there's lots of activities just to use that slow motion feature on the camera, because that is just a whole lot of fun anyway, but particularly in early years. Here we go, here's some lovely slow motion. Oh, already that is cool. Because it's just helping these young learners see things in a way they've never seen them before. And so on, it goes through that, and then tell a story is another option. And at the end of the book, there is lots of integration ideas. So let's just keep going through. Photo, sorry, everybody, right. After photo, we've got video. So introducing yourself. So just recording those selfie videos, but you could use that for a vocabulary video. So record a short video about a vocabulary word, act it out, include people, places, or things in your video to show the meaning of the word. Learn new words by sharing videos with others in the class. It's a great way to, so it's just using video in perhaps an activity that you would normally just do with a partner. Oh, here's a word. Can you tell your partner a place where you've seen this, or people that you know to do with this word? But actually, if you use a video, it's starting to take it to that next level. Slow motion. So to do with science, nature, slow roll. So observe some elements of nature in slow motion, like water falling onto a flower. Look at that. And actually, it's just a chance for students to really see what's going on, and it just helps capture their spark their imagination. Tell a story like this one about maths. So you make a little short clips video describing the elements of a shape. So this is either something you as a teacher could do and then share that with your early learners, or they can do that with some adult support of what kind of properties of the shape would you use, and let's see how many people can guess the shape before they get to the end. So those are just a few of the early learner suggestions there. If you would like to, now is a good chance to just put any reflections you have in your workbook. And if you would like to share anything you've made into our Showbie space, feel free to do that as well. But that's all from us at the moment. We have got a chance to share any activities that you've done at the next session. So we're looking at music. Everyone can create music on Thursday, the 2nd of December. So this will be a chance. I think we're looking at podcasting, but other things as well. So do feel free to join us. I was wondering if anyone's got any questions at this point, please do pop them in the chat, or even just come off mute and ask away. But if not, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you at the next Upper Regional Training Centre session. So stick around for a few minutes if anyone's got any questions. But apart from that, it's been great for you to join us, and I hope we see you soon.
Thank you.